Orlando Pirates 2, Chippa United 0. This match started and you fought, Chippa United came into this match and they're going to give Pirates a run for their money until the second half where you now realize that the pace was going down for Chippa United and Pirates were still holding on onto that pressing, onto that attack. They kept attacking Chippa and that was dead for Chippa. But for a long time, I haven't seen a Chippa that can play like this. Although they were playing for a draw, it was visible. It was visible from onset that Chippa United came in for a draw. And Orlando Pirates, started maybe slow, not as slow as one could say, but it was a slow game in the first half, especially the first 30 minutes of the game. It was slow. The combination of Rele Mofokeng and Mbule and Moremi, it wasn't moving at a faster pace or at a pace that Abdul Samadu, the coach, would have hoped for. But they sort of like grow themselves into the match, and those passes by Mofokeng, one of the most lethal passers that we have in the Betway Premiership. The guy can pass. And another thing that I've realized, like players like Abu Moremi, is that they are setting themselves to send a shout out to Hugo Bros that hey, we saw the preliminary list, and we hope that you call us for AFCON, because remember, it's less than 2 weeks. These players have at least 2 to 3 games before Hugo Bros can make his final cut. So every match matters, and I could see with Moremi today that this is one of those matches where he wanted to raise his hand, and fully so. But another thing that I'm starting to notice about Moremi is that, unlike maybe Makopa, Moremi is not a team player. Moremi, Mbutuma, they like those moments where instead of passing a teammate, they'd rather shoot. Instead of passing a teammate, they rather run with the ball and try to score on their own. Whereas a striker like Evidence Makhoba, when things get difficult, he can play for the team. He can simply like realize from a distance that, you know what, my shooting will never amount to anything, so I'll rather pass the ball, which is exactly what he does. But each on its own. And from Remy, it's been working. From Butuma, he didn't give us much into this game today, but it's one of those. Another issue about Mbutuma is that I am realizing that he's a player of moments. Mbutuma is not a player; he's not consistent, and I wish I could see a consistent Mbutuma. One game is playing so well, he's scoring goals. Another moment is missing in the game. But this game was one of those. It was one of those, man. And kudos to Master Chef, who also had a solid game. His performance wasn't loud, but he had a solid game. Kudos to Dion Hoto. I think after a few games where he didn't start, today he impressed. He impressed Abdul Samadu. He did well today. He did well. And I love it, Dion Hoto, who's playing for a team. I love it, Dion Hoto, who doesn't just run with the ball, who can pass teammates, who can make those set pieces work. I love that duo Nota. Another player that I think he was a bit off game today was Talent Mbata. He committed so many unnecessary fouls, and yeah, that was it. But he played okay. His game was okay. It wasn't great, because Mbata is a very trusted player when it comes to the middle field of Orlando Pirates, and his absence when it's not there, you could see. And we saw today Olisanda and Makahleni Makaula being at the bench, and that means when in the upcoming games we can expect them. Sibisi hasn't really settled well since he came back, and I think his combination with Seema isn't really doing. Because Chippa United is one of the weakest teams in the league right now. They're sitting at the bottom, and for them to be exposed against such a team, it's a no-no. So Sibisi and Seema, Abdul Samadu really got to look into that. As for Chippa United, Chippa doesn't really give us much. They're still sitting at the bottom. Their performances are weak, so they lose again this match, still number 16. So Orlando Pirates 2, Chippa United 0. That's it.